Hey y'all, it's Ashley from I Have Plans for You. Today I'm going to be doing a little lettering piece. You all have been asking me to do more lettering pieces, and so I'm going to do one today in my lettering journal. So I use this as a little practice journal, and this is my Archer and Olive traveler's notebook with dot grid little dots in there. I have a video on that I can link down below on all the details behind when I bought this journal. But I'm also using these Papermate Flair dual brush tip pens. One side has a pretty thick brush tip and the other side is a bullet point. I'm gonna go ahead and pick out the colors that I'm going to be using for this lettering spread today and get rid of the other ones, because you all know that I will grab the wrong pen and just have to be like, uh-oh, oops, because it's on video. So we're gonna get those out of the way and let's go ahead and get started. So I'm lettering the phrase better late than never. And I actually wrote a blog post about some fun ways to practice your brush lettering. So you all know that I have a brush lettering course, and we've been talking a lot about brush lettering, which is why I also did this YouTube video, because you all have been requesting that I do more brush lettering on my YouTube channel, and so I am here to oblige. But in that blog post, it talks about fun ways to practice your brush lettering. So after you finish the course and you get all the basics down, then what are some fun ways and what are some kind of like practical ways to practice your brush lettering so that you can continue your practice beyond the course? And one of those ways is to letter quotes or song lyrics. So in this video, I'm doing just that. And you can see that these brush pens glide beautifully. So these are kind of water-based, but they seem to have kind of like a little bit of an alcohol mix as well, and just the way that the ink kind of flows out. You can see that they do kind of layer a little bit when you layer on top, but if you just are like fixing a corner or something like that, you can do that pretty easily without that little layer showing over the top of the corner, as you saw at the top, which is a little bit different from the Tombow markers. You can see every single streak that goes back on top of another streak with those, which you all know I use those Tombow dual brush pens all the time. But I wanted to show you all a little bit of something different, because I know that everybody might not have access, or they might not want to be at the Tombow price point. And these Pentel brush markers come at, I think they're a little bit cheaper, but these are the only colors that I've seen they sell to. So keep that in mind if you're doing this for some kind of bigger lettering piece, that these are the only colors that they have. So I pulled you in a little bit closer now because I'm going to do some embellishments. And the first embellishments that I'm doing are these kind of dropped lines, so they kind of mimic shadows. But when I do these, what I'm thinking about is the distance of the line away from the words that are lettered. So I want those to all be similar distances away. And also steady hand and making sure that I am following the actual curves of the words. So I got a little close with that V, and I love that when it happens on video because you can see how I would fix mistakes. And so I just brought in my white Acrylograph Archer and Olive, what are these, acrylic bullet tip pens. So I know you all have heard me say I don't have any calligraphs. Archer and Olive, if you're listening, I would love to work with your team, and I would love some calligraphs. So that's my little plug there. But I am continuing that with the same exact color that I lettered each word with. And with embellishments, you don't have to do the same exact embellishment the same exact way. So just pay attention to your spacing, do what feels good and what looks good and what keeps the page balanced. The other thing that I really like about the brush tip side of these is that variance in opacity. So you see it kind of looks like an ombre effect of the colors getting a little bit lighter as that stroke goes down the page. That variance in opacity is really nice, and it kind of gives it that ombre effect of using two different pens with just using one pen, and the ink is kind of just running out as you're going through the stroke. So I like that too. So I decided to do the phrase better late than never because I'm one of those people who loves to meet deadlines. And part of my perfection is also the perfection in meeting the deadline that's there. When sometimes we set those deadlines ourselves, guys, and we are setting the timelines for ourselves sometimes. And we can actually run over the timeline and it's fine. Just we need to put it out there at some point, whatever that thing is for you, even if it's your next lettering piece, do it. And, it may be a little late because you're trying to work on it and perfect it, but it's better late. It's better putting it out there late than never putting it out there at all. So I wanted to remind us all, myself included, that better late than never. Okay, so now I'm taking that same Archer and Olive Acrylograph, and you do have to shake these up. I find that when I use them a lot, I don't really need to shake them up. But first I'm gonna go through and clean up any spots that I don't really like. So any of the spaces where I made the letters too thick, any of the spaces where I made those little drop lines too close to the letters, I'm cleaning all of that up. And this is something you would typically do. This isn't really like, don't think of this as you made mistakes and you're fixing the mistakes. Like, you are fixing the mistakes, but the mistakes are okay. This is something that is normal for brush lettering artists to do. But yeah, these acrylographs do need to be shaken up. So shake them a little bit, store them sideways. Like I said, if you use them a lot, then you won't have to shake them every single time, but I like to shake them at least a little bit to get the ink flowing, to make sure that I get the white as opaque as it can be. And to be honest, you all, these are probably the best white acrylic markers when it comes to making just those little filling in anything with white and not having to worry about going over it again. I typically use the size 10 Secura Jelly Roll. It's pretty good too. You can get a little bit of streaking with those, and I do kind of only recommend the size 10 in those for lettering and kind of coloring in little spaces. But when I don't have that one, I definitely use this one, and I love it just as much, if not, dare I say, more. All right, guys, so we're all done. Thank you all so much for watching. Let me know if you want more lettering videos like this in the future. Be sure to like and subscribe, and go check out my Brush Lettering Basics course. I think you'll love it if you're into learning how to do that. And I'll see you all next time. Bye.